Listen to me closely. Hatred doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it watches you bleed quietly while pretending to care. And that kind of hatred, it's the most dangerous thing you'll ever face. Let me tell you something we don't talk about enough. The most destructive hatred in this world is not loud. It's silent, calculated, and cold. It doesn't break you in one explosion. It breaks you in small, invisible cuts until you no longer recognize the person you've become. This kind of hatred isn't interested in confrontation. It's interested in corrosion your corrosion. It shows up in the people who stop celebrating your wins, in the people who pretend to support you but subtly sabotage your confidence, in the people who look at your pain with dry eyes, in the people who smile but never mean it. Silent hatred lives in the pause before the reply, in the tone that changes when someone else enters the room, in the praise that is too shallow, in the joke that feels like a knife decorated with laughter. And here's the truth that hurts. Quiet hatred is dangerous because it teaches you to doubt yourself, not them. It makes you ask, am I overreacting? Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe it's my fault. This is what silent hatred feeds on. Your confusion, your hesitation, your hope that they're still the person you once trusted. But I want you to hear me. When someone's energy shifts, believe it. When someone's warmth turns cold, believe it. When someone's presence starts draining you instead of lifting you, believe it. Hatred that hides behind silence is still hatred. It just wears a better mask. And once you recognize it, once you name it, you take away its power. Because the moment you stop explaining their behavior, the moment you stop excusing their distance, the moment you stop begging for clarity, you begin reclaiming yourself. Let me walk you into the moment most people ignore. The moment hatred doesn't speak, but something inside you knows it has already arrived. It's subtle, it's silent, but it hits with the weight of a truth your heart wishes wasn't real. It starts with a shift so small you almost miss it. A delayed reply, a colder tone, a smile that doesn't reach their eyes anymore, a softness that has turned into a strange, sharp distance, and you feel it, not in your mind, but in your body. Your chest tightens around their name. Your stomach sinks when they enter the room. Your spirit retreats, instinctively protecting itself, because your soul always senses danger before your brain acknowledges it. Quiet hatred doesn't announce itself. It withdraws warmth. It removes kindness. It stops seeing you as human. People think hatred is loud, violent, chaotic, but the truth? The quiet version is colder, more calculated, and far more destructive. Loud hatred tries to hurt you. Quiet hatred enjoys watching you hurt yourself. This is the kind of hatred that doesn't confront you. It starves you. It starves you of clarity, starves you of connection, starves you of the truth you deserve. You start over-explaining to keep the peace. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. You start shrinking yourself just to avoid the chill in their voice. You start tiptoeing around a person who once welcomed your full presence. But here's the part that breaks the silence. You are not imagining it. Your spirit does not lie. Your intuition does not exaggerate. Your soul does not warn you without reason. Silent hatred is often born from jealousy, insecurity, or resentment that the other person refuses to admit. So they hide it, they disguise it, they package it in politeness and deliver it with emotional distance. But you feel the truth anyway, because hatred, no matter how quietly it enters, always shifts the energy first. And when the energy changes, the relationship is never the same again. Let's talk about the wound nobody sees, the slow, invisible bruise left by hatred that refuses to speak but never stops hurting. This kind of hatred doesn't break your skin. It breaks your spirit. It doesn't attack your body. It attacks your worth. Silent hatred makes you question yourself in ways loud anger never could. Anger is honest. Anger shows its face. Anger announces itself with volume. But hatred that goes quiet, it plays mind games. It makes you doubt your instincts. It makes you second guess your feelings. It makes you wonder if you're the problem. Even when you've done nothing but show up with sincerity, this hatred is dangerous because it reshapes you without you realizing it. It turns your confidence into hesitation, your openness into caution, your warmth into emotional armor. You start walking into conversations preparing for subtle jabs. You start reading between every line. You start waiting for the next small betrayal because you know it's coming, even if they pretend to love you, respect you, or care for you. This isn't just emotional pain. This is psychological corrosion. The person who carries quiet hatred toward you has already stopped seeing you with compassion. And when someone stops seeing you with compassion, they stop protecting your heart. They stop honoring your humanity. They stop caring if their silence cuts you open. And here's the darkest part. Silent hatred forces you into a relationship with confusion. It makes you negotiate with your own pain. It makes you hold on to people who have already let go of you. It makes you stay connected to the hands that are quietly wounding you. You end up trying harder, giving more, proving yourself, hoping something will shift, forgetting that love doesn't need proof and kindness doesn't require performance, and respect is never silent. Silent hatred will drain you until you no longer recognize the version of yourself you became while trying to earn someone's warmth. But listen closely. The moment you identify this hatred, the moment you call it what it is, you begin the journey back to your power. There's something important you need to understand about quiet hatred. It never shows up all at once. It does not storm in. It does not explode. It slides into a person's behavior in small, calculated changes that are easy to overlook until you realize you've been drowning in it for months. Quiet hatred reveals itself like a slow leak in a room you thought was safe. At first, it's a comment that feels a little too sharp, a tone that feels a little too cold, a joke that lands a little too hard, a look that lingers a little too long, not with love, not with care, but with something colder, something distant. You brush it off. You tell yourself you're overthinking. You try to be understanding, patient, kind. You excuse what your intuition has already recognized as danger. But hatred has a pattern. It grows in layers. Layer 1 withdrawal. They stop checking on you. Stop asking how you are. Stop showing genuine interest in your life. The warmth fades first. Layer 2 comparison. Suddenly, anything you do is not good enough. They highlight others. They downplay you. Their compliments become rare, and their criticisms become subtle but constant. Layer 30 minimization. Your feelings become too much. Your success becomes not a big deal. Your presence becomes something they tolerate instead of appreciate. Layer 40, emotional distance. They stop celebrating your victories. They stop caring about your struggles. They stop responding with heart and instead respond with obligation. Layer 50, quiet sabotage. They don't support your progress. They don't clap when you rise. They don't want you to win, and though they won't say it, their energy screams it. This is how hatred shows itself without raising its voice. It is not the punch you expect. It's the slow suffocation you never saw coming. And the most painful part, you feel it long before you can explain it. You sense the shift before you can prove it. You see the truth before you're ready to accept it. But the moment you stop ignoring these signs, you reclaim your clarity. Let me be brutally honest with you. Anger is not the real threat. Quiet hatred is. Anger shouts. Hatred calculates. Anger releases. Hatred plots. Anger has heat. Hatred has ice. And ice is what kills slowly. Anger tells you exactly where the wound is coming from. You see it. You hear it. You feel its impact. There's no confusion. You know the battle lines. You know what to protect. But quiet hatred, it hides the weapon. It smiles at you while holding the knife behind its back. It speaks softly while its intentions scream silently inside its chest. This is why quiet hatred is more dangerous. It forces you to question your own intuition instead of questioning their behavior. People who are loudly angry still care enough to express emotion. People who are quietly hateful have stopped caring completely. Anger is emotional fire, intense, but on it. Hatred is emotional poison, slow, subtle, and lethal. Quiet hatred doesn't attack your actions. It attacks your worth. It attacks your confidence. It attacks the light inside you. One flicker at a time. It doesn't push you away. It drains you. It doesn't yell at you. It ignores you. It doesn't confront you. It studies you, waiting for the moment you're most vulnerable. And here's the truth most people will never admit out loud. Someone who hates you quietly is comfortable watching you crumble. They won't help. They won't comfort. They won't support. They will simply step back and let gravity do its work. What makes it truly dangerous is its invisibility. Your heart senses something is wrong, but your mind can't name it yet. Your body reacts to the tension, but you tell yourself to stay calm. Your soul knows the truth, but you silence it because you don't want to believe someone you trusted could ever harbor such coldness. But quiet hatred doesn't need your belief. It continues its work silently, reshaping you from within, unless you learn to see it, name it, and walk away before it destroys what's sacred inside you. There is a moment, an unmistakable moment, when someone's quiet hatred stops being invisible. And no matter how hard they try to hide it, their behavior betrays them long before their words ever will. People can mask anger. They can disguise jealousy. They can soften resentment. But hatred leaks through the cracks. Let me show you how. The first sign is emotional absence. They're physically near you, but emotionally gone. You talk, they don't listen. You share, they don't respond. Your joy doesn't move them. Your pain doesn't stir them. Their silence isn't peaceful. It's dismissive. The second sign is selective kindness. They treat everyone else with warmth, but you with cold politeness. It's not outright cruelty. It's the lack of the compassion they give to everyone except you. A person who quietly hates you knows how to be nice. They just choose not to be nice to you. The third sign is hidden competition. Your wins irritate them. Your growth threatens them. Your progress awakens something dark in them they don't want to admit. They won't celebrate you. They'll minimize you, redirect attention, or respond with a dry, hollow, good for you, while their eyes say the opposite. The fourth sign is delayed support. When you need help, they hesitate. When you're struggling, they hold back. When you need encouragement, they stay silent. It's not that they can't show up, it's that they don't want to. And the fifth sign, the most revealing one, they get comfortable with your suffering. They don't comfort you. They don't check on you. They don't care if you're falling apart, because hate numbs compassion, and silent hate numbs it completely. This is why quiet hatred is so dangerous. It removes humanity long before it reveals hostility. You can't fight it because there's nothing to confront. You can't fix it because I've already emotionally checked out. You can't win their love because their heart has already closed. But recognizing these behaviors gives you something powerful, clarity. And clarity is the first step toward choosing yourself again. There is a heavy price you pay when you ignore quiet hatred, and most people don't realize they're paying it until they're emotionally bankrupt. Silent hatred doesn't just wound you, it reshapes you, rewires the way you trust, love, and see yourself. Let me show you what it steals. First, it takes your clarity. You start second, guessing every interaction. You wonder if you misunderstood the tone, the look, the silence. You analyze conversations long after they ended. Your mind becomes a battlefield of maybe I'm wrong and maybe something is off. This mental fog is not accidental. It's the earliest symptom of emotional harm. Second, it steals your confidence. You begin shrinking your personality around them. Your voice becomes smaller. Your joy becomes quieter. Your presence becomes cautious. You adjust who you are just to avoid triggering the coldness you feel. But here's the truth, you're not adapting. You're losing pieces of yourself. Third, it damages your emotional security. You stop trusting your intuition. You silence your instincts. You convince yourself that the tension isn't real. You stay loyal to presence that has already turned hostile. This self-betrayal is one of the deepest wounds quiet hatred creates. Fourth, it affects your relationships with others. Your walls get higher. Your trust gets thinner, your vulnerability becomes guarded. You start expecting betrayal even from people who would never hurt you, because when someone hates you quietly, they teach you to fear subtlety. They teach you to look for danger where there is none. They teach you that love can turn cold overnight. And finally, the worst cost of all, you start believing you deserve the way they treat you. This is how silent hatred wins, not by their actions, but by the way it makes you reinterpret your own worth. But hear me clearly, their hatred does not define you. Your self-return does. And the moment you stop ignoring the quiet, the healing begins. It's time to expose the truth most people never learns. Their quiet hatred is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their wounds. People don't hate you because something is wrong with you. They hate you because something is unresolved within them. Let me break this down. Some people hate your confidence because it highlights their insecurity. When you walk into a room with self-trust, they see everything they lack. Your presence becomes a mirror they don't want to look into. It's easier for them to resent you than confront their own self-doubt. Some people hate your strength because it reminds them of their weakness. Your resilience threatens them. Your ability to rise bothers them. Your courage exposes their fear. Instead of growing, they choose to quietly resent the person who shows them what growth looks like. Some people hate your authenticity because they're terrified to be themselves. Your honesty challenges their masks. Your vulnerability challenges their emotional walls. Your freedom challenges their fear of judgment. Your light triggers their darkness, and instead of learning from the light, they choose to hate the one who carries it. Some people hate your happiness because it makes them confront their emptiness. It's not that they want to see you suffer. It's that your joy reminds them of what they haven't healed. Some people hate your boundaries because it reminds them they lack their own. When you stop tolerating disrespect, those who benefited from your silence take it personally. And here's the part people rarely admit. Quiet hatred is often jealousy dressed in cold behavior. It's envy wearing politeness. It's insecurity pretending to be indifferent. But none of it, not the silence, not the distance, not the emotional withdrawal, is about you. It's about the battles they refuse to fight within themselves. You didn't cause it. You didn't deserve it. You didn't trigger it. You simply revealed it. Your existence illuminated the part of them that still needs healing. And their hatred, it's a reaction to their pain, not your presence. There comes a moment when you must stop trying to understand someone's quiet hatred and start protecting your own peace. Because the truth is simple. You cannot heal a wound someone else is committed to keeping open. Your responsibility is not to fix their coldness. Your responsibility is to save yourself from it. So how do you protect your heart from something so silent, so subtle, so emotionally draining? First, you trust your intuition again. Your body knows the truth long before your mind accepts it. When someone's presence tightens your chest, when their silence feels heavier than their words, when your spirit feels smaller around them, don't dismiss that. That's your inner warning system trying to protect you. Second, you stop giving people access to your vulnerability when they've already withdrawn their compassion. You don't have to cut them off dramatically. You simply stop offering them the pieces of you they don't value. Your emotions are not for people who respond with indifference. Your dreams are not for people who respond with envy. Your heart is not for people who treat it like it's disposable. Third, you detach from their behavior emotionally. Silent hatred only destroys you when you internalize it. When you start thinking their coldness means you're unworthy. When you start believing their distance is your failure. Your healing begins the moment you say, "This is not about me, this is about them." Fourth, you set boundaries that protect your energy. Distance is not revenge. Distance is self-respect. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is simply stop standing where you're being quietly wounded. Fifth, you reconnect with people who actually see you, because nothing heals the damage of silent hatred faster than the presence of genuine love. People who cheer when you win, people who show up when you fall, people who don't feel threatened by your growth. And most importantly, you return to yourself, to your voice, to your power, to your clarity, to your worth. Quiet hatred tries to erase you. Self-protection brings you back to life. Here's the truth that will set you free Quiet hatred only has the power you allow it to have. The moment you name it, see it, and refuse to let it define your experience, you take back your life. This is your final and most important lesson. You cannot control other people, but you can control how you respond, and that is where your power lies. First, accept what is. Accept that someone may hate you quietly. Accept that their coldness, their withdrawal, their subtle jabs have nothing to do with your worth. Accepting the reality of their behavior doesn't mean you like it. It means you stop letting it control your emotions. Second, step into your own boundaries unapologetically. Stop shrinking yourself to make them comfortable. Stop dimming your light to avoid their envy. Stop over-explaining, overcompensating, over-apologizing. Your energy, your time, your presence, these are sacred. Protect them fiercely. Protect them without guilt. Protect them with love for yourself. Third, embrace emotional detachment. Detach not out of anger, but out of clarity. Detach not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. Detach because you refuse to carry their silent hatred as your burden. Remember, resentment only chains you to them. Freedom chains you to yourself. Fourth, surround yourself with truth and love. Seek the company of those who see your value, who encourage your growth, who celebrate your victories. Nourish relationships that feel like sunlight, not shadow. Finally, reclaim your narrative. Quiet hatred may have whispered lies about your worth, but you are the author of your story. You choose what stays, what goes, and who remains. You choose your energy, your joy, your confidence, your peace. You choose your life. So here's your closing truth. Silent hatred is powerful only if you allow it to dictate your life. Recognize it, release it, and rise above it. Protect your spirit. Celebrate your light. Step boldly into your own life, unafraid, unshaken, unstoppable. End statement, hatred may whisper, but your courage roars. Choose yourself. Always